Sigue las instrucciones. Protect yourself. Protégete todo el tiempo. Buena suerte. Good luck. Let's go.
Who is the best lightweight in the world? We're about to find out.
Well, you watched all the hard work that Ronnie Shields did in bringing Rocky Juarez home to the draw with Chris John in the first fight. Now he goes to work again because Shields also trains Juan Diaz. Marquez's trainer, Nacho Beristain, was the man who handled Oscar De La Hoya in his disastrous outing against Manny Pacquiao. Already the pressure from Diaz begins. Good straight left hand by Diaz, and the chopping left hook in the corner. And another left hook, backs up Marquez against the ropes. Marquez hasn't found the counter-punching rhythm quite yet.
As a matter of fact, Marquez has not been able to land, to me, one clean blow yet. And whereas
so far seems just a bit off balance in the face of Diaz's aggression. Diaz showing respect, ripping Marquez with another left hook. 3 body shots from Marquez. Diaz goes in with the right hand. This is going to be a hellacious war.
Unlike a lot of fights between a younger and older fighter, in this case, the early rounds seem to favor Diaz, where he can take over with his energy and volume punching. Marquez relies on precision counter punches, which may tell later in the fight.
Marquez works his way into the fight. Remember, down 3 times against Pacquiao in the first round of the first fight. Down in the second round of their second fight. Had trouble early and begins to go to work technically.
what's impressive to me right now is Diaz's defense. He's been able to pick most of Marquez's punches and has found a way of getting, particularly his little short left jab through to hit Marquez for the most part. I thought this was what we just see starting about the 4th round, but not in the 1st round.
See, what I just saw over the last 15 or 20 seconds was Marquez land a couple of clean shots and then block everything Diaz had to throw over the, by the ropes. Maybe he's already making adjustments.
Well, Diaz's great brain power serves him well, not just in the college classroom. He's used it throughout his learning curve in the ring. And Marquez just might be the smartest fighter in the sport. So you're looking at great intellect as well as great athletic talent.
Not to mention the well-known cultural Mexican tradition of willing to mix it up.
And are they ever? What a big left hook by Diaz. Marquez trying to fire back, lands a right cross and a left hook. Round 1 is an all-out war. Then 4. The 95 punches thrown by Marquez, the most ever thrown in a round by Marquez in a fight tracked by CompuBox. Translation, he was forced to play Diaz's game.
Absolutely, and when Diaz is exchanging, notice Diaz is punching straight through the middle with punches where he's really exerting his weight. And even though they weighed in the same, and I guess tonight Marquez weighed in more, but I just see the natural strength more with Diaz. And he's punching in a manner where he's forcing Marquez to back up by pushing his punches straight forward and pushing his weight at the same time.
And by the way, with the sole exception of his 1 loss in the Campbell fight, Diaz's stamina across the long course of the fight has always been amazing to behold. So don't expect much of a slowdown. If anything, if he gets his chance, he might crank it up a little more. But now the pace slows a little bit in the 2nd round as Marquez begins to add more variety to his game. You saw the left-hand uppercut. Body shots by Diaz. I get the hunch that Marquez is going to need to stay off the ropes, Manuel.
Yes, and I don't think he's going to do that. And the way that Diaz is punching, he's got his head down more, where he's getting better leverage in the exchanges, and Marquez's head is up more.
And this crowd is on its feet already, and they may be on their feet all the way.
You notice Diaz is not throwing that many hooks. He's shooting his punches straight, where he can maximize his strength.
Big left hook, staggers Marquez. Marquez in trouble and trying to fight his way out of it.
And we've seen this from Marquez before when he's stunned, and he was stunned there. His instinct is to fire right back. Maybe the truest mark of a real champion.
But he's in with a bigger man this time, and I can see the difference in the strength right there.
If Diaz had world-class power for the weight, Marquez might have been gone right there. It was an unbelievable shot. But Marquez continues to fight back.
His punching power is not that bad. He still may possibly stop Marquez, or at least knock him down.
We saw that instinct that I mentioned from Morales and Barrera in this last featherweight golden era, and I think Marquez has the same thing inside him.
In fact, if you wanted to find a comparison for what round one looked like, it looked like a round out of a Morales-Barrera fight.
And so does this one.
I like Diaz's defense for the most part, which I'm surprised.
They're both going to land more than 30 punches in the round. Big left hook by Diaz, straight right hand by Marquez. Good left hook by Marquez on the top of Diaz's head. Diaz jabbing and hunting. Marquez going to the body and coming back up.
Here we say Diaz driving in, we call him left hook right there, and had probably more effect than it would have had, except because he had him back and back. And he's maximizing his weight on every punch by lunging forward as he punches.
CompuBox numbers in the second round. Marquez 34 out of 94. Diaz 30 out of 98. So if the first round was counted round, the second round was the second largest number of punches ever thrown in a CompuBox counted round. They're still basically playing Diaz's game.
Marquez is a very intelligent fighter, though. If there is any mistakes in Diaz's arsenal, you can be sure that Marquez is going to find them out as the fight goes on.
Well, I think very intelligent is an understatement.
Yes.
He's a supremely intelligent fighter.
Yes.
He's blessed with excellent reflexes and very good punching power, but you have to wonder about those reflexes at the age of 35.
And particularly given the wars he's been in. And a guy's had as many terrific fights against great opponents as Marquez has had. Every once in a while, they go off the diving board all at once. But he's looked really good in the first couple of rounds against a guy who's looked just a tiny bit better.
Yeah, but the guy's feeling a lot of pressure. I don't think Marquez, this pressure is going to probably negate a lot of his counter-punching better because it's making him fight at a faster pace than he likes to fight at.
Took by Diaz. He's going to have to watch out for the uppercut. Marquez threw the uppercut from a little too far away. He's going to have to get closer to do it right. Good straight jabs by Marquez there, momentarily stopping Diaz in his tracks. And tracks they are, as Juan stalks and stalks. Four-punch combination by Diaz.
This is the Juan Diaz that had the boxing world buzzing before his loss to Nate Campbell.
What a will. What determination. Good left hook by Diaz.
So Marquez is landing punches, but the weight on us. But even though Marquez is landing punches just as good sometimes.
Good right hand by Marquez. Right behind Diaz's guard and on the ear. Love this. They love this kind of competition. A lot of Marquez advocates thought this might be man against boy. So far, it's been man on man.
And pushing his punches forward with full force, and also you see punches coming back from Marquez, which are counter punches, but they don't create the excitement because he's not forcing Diaz to back, but he's still landing clean, effective punches.
CompuBox numbers through round three. Marquez 91 out of 268. Diaz 87 out of 281. Harold, how do you have it so far?
I'll get you 3 rounds to nothing, 30 to 27, Juan Diaz. Jim, one quick thing about our last fight. I absolutely can't remember the last time I saw 3 judges score out a draw. Very, very rare. Back to this fight. Juan Diaz keeps walking him down, landing clean, hard, effective shots. And when he gets Marquez on the ropes, Marquez seems to lose his head and stand there and slug with Diaz, and that's how Diaz wants to fight. Juan Diaz landed more clean shots, just like he's doing right there. 3-0 Diaz.
You know, I understand that score, and Diaz is imposing his kind of fight. But I'll tell you the truth, guys, I think Marquez is landing the harder punches.
Well, I think he might be a harder puncher, but of course, Diaz, as we pointed out, is by nature the bigger man and more of a natural lightweight. Manuel.
Marquez, Diaz throwing a hook and needs to block it and shoot his counter hook at the exact same time.
Diaz has been brilliant so far at finding those moments when Marquez's right hand is slightly dropped. He's landed several flush left hooks.
Yeah, and he gets maximum level. He hunches his body forward in a Joe Frazier type style, where his left hook has tremendous force because he has his weight leaning right into the position where he can load up on the left hook.
But look at the comeback combination by Marquez. A 4-punch counter-punch combination. Awesome stuff. Why should a fight like this even be scored?
Here you say Diaz land his beautiful left hook. Evidently, Marquez cannot feel the left hook when it's coming.
Most effective punches towards the end of that round.
I agree with you, Mac. He just doesn't get the credit for it because, he doesn't move Diaz back, where when Diaz lands a punch, he always forces Marquez's head and his body to move back. But Marquez is landing a lot of clean, effective combinations, particularly at the end of the round.
Diaz is trying to follow in the footsteps of boxing greats like Jake LaMotta, Jeff Fennick, and others who were great pressure fighters, even though they weren't big punchers, but they were able to establish themselves with their volume of punching and their physical strength.
Diaz again, imposing his will against Marquez on the ropes, and catches him again with a left hook as Marquez steps away. Now Marquez will look to land a 3- or 4-punch combination, and he nails Diaz with 2 uppercuts in a row, both from the left side. Straight right hand down the pipe by Diaz, lands twice in a row. Whoever throws more body punches may ultimately be the winner in the fight.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a tough fight right here.
Another huge left hook by Diaz.
I mean, these guys are fighting at a pace and putting such mustard on each shot and fighting at a skill level. You rarely see all those elements combined.
Big body shot by Marquez.
Referee Rafael Ramos has not had to break these guys up for one clinch at all that I can remember.
I didn't even know he was in the ring.
No, they're just fighting their way straight through the fight.
Not to say it's quite on that level yet, but in certain ways it's reminiscent of Corrales and Castillo. No clinches.
Of bombs that are being landed.
I guess not, but no clinches, a fast pace, hard shots, high skill level. Unclear who will ultimately impose their will.
That fight was in 2003, I believe, on our competitor network, Showtime. One difference, maybe those guys were slightly heavier punches, but neither of them had the volume that these guys are producing tonight. Good left hook. Marquez has been cut in that same spot before against both Manny Pacquiao and Joel Casamayor. Nacho Beristain has worked that cut before, and he's working it again tonight. Diaz was cut badly in the Campbell fight, but other than that, his features have held up very well despite his non-stop high-pressure style in other fights. Another big left hook by Diaz. I mentioned the body shot disparity. I believe it's Marquez, really, who's thrown more body shots early and is landing them at a high rate. Blood begins to trickle again from the cut just outside Marquez's right eye. There, Diaz got in a solid body shot against the ropes. Marquez is beginning to become more conscious of trying to block Diaz's left hook. Diaz is adjusting by going to the body instead.
If Marquez is not setting a trap when he's retreating to the ropes, that's a very good sign for Diaz.
But I was very impressed with the point that you mentioned, Jim, that he's been able to neutralize Diaz's left hooks lately. He has not been hit with any of those left hooks. And that's a sign of a very intelligent fighter.
Punches up.
Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. How many times do you see that? Left hook, back into the ropes. All-out war. What happened to the boxing?
Yeah, but the clean-up blows are landed by Marquez. Even the crowd is excited. But Marquez is landing most of the clean-up blows in those exchanges there.
Diaz eats a hard right hand, lands a hard... That's not really how fights are scored by judges. How do you have it?
No, Jim. 4 rounds to 2. 58, 56, Juan Diaz. Jim, Manuel Marquez really ought to stay off them ropes. When he goes on the ropes, Juan Diaz just pummels him like you're watching right here. When the fight goes into the center of the ring, Juan Manuel Marquez does very, very well. But he ought to stay off the ropes. He's giving Diaz the advantage of that effective aggressiveness and using his size by going up on the ropes. 4-2, Juan Diaz.
Here's an amazing statistic, guys. Through 6 rounds of this fight, and despite the fact that Marquez twice went 12 rounds with Manny Pacquiao, Juan Diaz has already thrown more power punches against Juan Manuel Marquez than anybody has ever thrown against him in a 12-round fight. All
Something that Ronnie Shields noted in the corner and told him to correct.
Ronnie hadn't had to work quite as hard here as he did in the Rocky Juarez-Chris John fight that preceded this. And he'll be trying to steer his man down the stretch for sure. Straight right hands landing for Juan Manuel Marquez. Left hook lands again for Diaz. Left hook, body shot, left hook to the body, all by Juan Diaz. Now Marquez tries to come back.
I don't know if Marquez is going to be able to maintain all the way through, you know, because he throws a lot of punches, but the fights with Pacquiao, he had a lot of in-between time. Diaz is pushing him a lot more.
And his mouth is open, Emmanuel, and he's breathing past his mouth guard. And it looks as though the stamina advantage is beginning to show for the baby bull.
Marquez has fought a bit with his mouth open since the third round. The pace is something, as you noted, Jim, that he's not used to.
But he's landing a lot of clean blows. You don't get the reaction from the crowd that's whenever Diaz in, but he's landing a lot of clean blows still.
Especially in the middle of the ring, as Harold mentioned.
Yeah.
Two straight right hands by Marquez. Two more big left hooks by Diaz. Drives Marquez back against the ropes. Lands a straight right hand of his own. Marquez trying to counter again. Diaz keeping the pressure on. He listened to Ronnie between rounds.
Here you can see the intensity of the furious exchanges that they have. When you see the punches are landing, short punches, sweat flying, shows the type of a fight this.
You've seen the energy. In January, it was a tremendous crowd in Staples Center in Los Angeles for Shane Mosley's whacking of Antonio Margarito. Last Saturday night, big crowds in Madison Square Garden and Youngstown, Ohio for Miguel Cotto and Kelly Pavlik. Now this. Economic conditions are helping to bring boxing back to its roots, and fans are responding. And now there's a cut outside Diaz's right eye.
From the left uppercut from Marquez, which has been maybe his most effective punch.
Along with the straight right hand. So they're equal in cuts now. Marquez is having a strong rally in the first minute of the 8th round. There comes the uppercut again. Twice in a row.
He found a home with that left uppercut between the gloves.
Diaz isn't landing many of these.
No.
But he's asserting his energy again. Good job of blocking punches there by the baby bull. That cut could pose a problem between rounds for Joe Chavez again. You saw the job that Chavez did with Rocky Juarez's cut in the first fight. He'll have to go to work on Diaz between rounds.
The same thing as, Marquez is fighting for the pride of his country. Even though they're both supposed to be Mexican, right now, Marquez has said that he would die in the ring and leave all the blood that he has in his body if he has to for his country in this fight. Because he considers Diaz a half Mexican. He's American Mexican.
What action.
This is amazing.
Marquez is a good defensive fighter, but Diaz overwhelms his defense, overtaxes it with the sheer volume of his punches. Even as Marquez sharpshoots and continues to land the flusher, harder shots.
And as the blood flows, the urgency level rises.
And you can see now, it looks like the expression on Diaz's face has changed somewhat, and Marquez's confidence level is starting to grow now.
Diaz did not respond well to the cut against Nate Campbell. He's cut in a similar kind of dire way here against Marquez.
Well, we told you how Marquez adjusts and comes on.
And Diaz got caught with a left hook, and he looks stunned.
25 seconds to go. Can the great technician find a way? Diaz with a left hook to back him off. That left hook was about as clutch a punch as Diaz could possibly have thrown.
And Marquez is an experienced fighter, and he can handle getting into trouble, but I don't know if Diaz can handle that, because he has not had that type of experience.
Okay, Warren. Hey, what was it? I'm a punch. A punch? Look at me. Right here. Look at me.
Here you see Marquez mixing up his punches to the outside and between the gloves. I think that left uppercut between the gloves right there was a shot that caused the cut. You can see the blood just start to spurt as soon as he landed that left uppercut. And here is a left hook that he catches with the head, which he just simply didn't see the punch. And it's a punch that hurts is always one you didn't see. Because he thought he had blocked it, but it came.
For Juan Manuel Marquez, 40 out of 85 by CompuBox numbers. Diaz landed only 18 out of 70. Harold Letterman's scorecard begins to tighten. Marquez making his patented mid-round rush.
He's the heavier-handed fighter, and he's the more accurate puncher. And it's starting to take its toll on Diaz.
Another CompuBox milestone. Marquez is now out by CompuBox. I got a feeling they're going to smash every possible CompuBox record for these two fighters tonight.
While they smash each other's faces.
Exactly. What an amazing adjustment Marquez made, Emmanuel, in about the third or fourth round to find that uppercut and start to hammer away at it with 2 and 3 uppercuts at a time.
Very smart fight. He made great adjustments. And I thought this time he would be watching, but as he's turning around, he's back in the fight, and Diaz is starting to rub right now. Seeming a little bit. You know, it's interesting, when Diaz had his first professional fight, he was in Mexico. He met Marquez, and they became friends for that night. And Marquez said he never would dream at that time, especially being that he was only 16, that he would end up fighting with Diaz.
He said he was such a nice kid, so warm, so personable. They're taunting each other in the ring. Great left hook by Diaz. He's trying to turn the tide through the sheer force of will.
In between all of us, the referee still is not to have a big one pitch, which means if anyone gets seriously hurt in this fight, they're probably going to get stopped.
All credit to the referee.
Because they don't
When if he
know the
stops
clinch.
it, it'll be the first thing he's done in the fight.
Though Marquez is the much more experienced, in fact, it's Diaz who's had more experience fighting at this pace over the course of the fight.
And he's 10 years younger. And he's fighting in his hometown. And he's supposedly the stronger man.
And he's hurt.
A huge uppercut. Down goes Diaz.
Well, it's all because he doesn't know how to clinch.
Can he make it out of the ring? 35 seconds to go. A very brave Juan Diaz will probably go back to fighting.
A experienced fighter would probably clinch, but I don't think that's what he's going to do.
And look at Marquez go to the body. Look at him go to the body to try to set up the finish. And what a right hand. And that will be that.
What you just saw was a really good young fighter knocked out by a great old fighter.
Absolutely.
And you're pound for pound number one.
Maybe.
Marquez.
Just might
No,
be.
that's what you said, and you have good grounds to say that.
Well, let me say this. That's as sensational as any performance Manny Pacquiao's ever produced, for sure. No discredit to Pacquiao, who is great. Marquez is just as great.